In the center of the galaxy, light from 1,000 suns reflected off the massive dome of the Galactic Council Hall. Inside, leaders of hundreds of alien species gathered in silence. Their faces showed fear, not anger, not curiosity, real fear. The reason for this fear was a single word written on the glowing holoscreen behind the OC Supreme Chair. The word was humanity. For centuries, the Galactic Council had maintained peace among the stars. Empires rose and fell, but balance always returned. Until now. Reports from the outer sectors spoke of a new species spreading faster than expected. They called themselves humans, children of a blue planet near the edge of the Orion Arm. At first, they seemed weak, emotional, and chaotic. But now the Council's scouts said something else. Humanity was changing the balance of power, High Chancellor Rethker. A tall insectoid being with crystal eyes tapped one claw on the table. We warned the Terrans not to expand beyond their solar system, he said. Now they have colonies in 12 sectors. They have ships that match ours in speed, and they are not afraid to fight. A low voice echoed from the shadows of the hall. It belonged to Admiral Voska of the Dracoth Dominion. They are not just fighting, she said. They are adapting. Every time we defeat them, they return stronger. They learn our tactics. They learn too fast, the Council murmured. Fear spread like a silent wave. At the far end of the hall, a hologram flickered to life. It was a recording from a recent battle on the Rim. The video showed a small human fleet surrounded by a larger alien armada. The aliens fired first. Explosions filled the blackness of space, but when the smoke cleared, human ships were still moving. Their hulls glowed with strange energy. They fought back with precision, their ships moving as if one mind controlled them. Within minutes, the alien fleet was destroyed. The recording ended. The hall remained silent. Impossible, whispered one elder being. No species evolves that fast. They were primitive a century ago. The Supreme Chair, an ancient being of pure light, spoke for the first time. That is what makes them dangerous. Humanity does not evolve over millennia. They evolve in decades. They are driven by fear, curiosity, and survival. They are unpredictable. Across the hall, a younger alien diplomat leaned forward. But they are still few. We can contain them. We only need to act now. The chair looked down. Containment was possible 50 years ago. Now, it is too late. They have something we cannot fight. The word hope hung unspoken in the air. While the Council argued, far away in a distant human colony called New Eden, a group of engineers worked inside a hidden underground lab. Their leader, Commander Alan Reeves, stared at a glowing orb of light on his workbench. It pulsed like a heartbeat. The energy readings were beyond anything they had ever seen. "Are you sure this is safe?" asked one of his team. Alan smiled faintly. "Nothing we've done in space has ever been safe. But if this works, the Council will finally see why they should fear us." The device was called the Quantum Core, a power source born from the wreckage of an alien relic. It could bend space and time, create wormholes, and even manipulate gravity. The humans had not just copied alien technology, they had improved it. Outside, human ships patrolled the dark skies. Soldiers trained in silence. Colonists worked with quiet determination. Every person on New Eden felt something in their hearts, a storm coming, reckoning. Back in the Galactic Council Hall, the Supreme Chair turned to the others. "You all saw the data. You all know what happens next. Humanity will not stop expanding. If we try to destroy them, they will only grow stronger. And if we ignore them, they will surpass us all." The Chancellor's voice trembled. "Then what do you suggest?" The chair's light dimmed. "Pray they never see us as enemies," sighed the dome. Stars shimmered silently, hiding the rising power of a small blue world that had already begun to change the galaxy forever. 2 weeks after the secret council meeting, chaos spread through the outer sectors. Patrol ships vanished near human borders. Communication beacons went dark. The council tried to hide the truth, but rumors spread faster than light. The humans were building something powerful, something the galaxy had never seen before. In the orbit of New Eden, a vast structure floated among the stars. It looked like a metallic ring glowing with blue energy. Human engineers called it the Horizon Gate. It was meant to link human colonies instantly, no matter how far apart they were. But its true purpose was known only to Commander Alan Reeves and a handful of scientists. Alan stood on the observation deck, watching the final pieces fall into place. The Horizon Gate was their greatest creation. It could transport not only ships, but entire fleets through space in seconds. To most of the galaxy, this was impossible. To humans, it was only the beginning. "Commander," said Dr. Leela Chen, his chief scientist, walking up beside him, "Council surveillance drones have been spotted near Sector 12. They're watching us again." Alan didn't look surprised. "Let them watch. They still think we're behind them in technology. They'll find out soon enough." Down in the control bay, hundreds of technicians worked in silence. Energy levels rose. Lights flickered. The hum of power filled the air. Humanity was preparing for something big. Far away, in the Council's central station, alarms blared. Admiral Voska slammed her clawed hand on the control table. "They're activating a gate network. They're linking systems faster than any known technology. How is this possible?" Chancellor Rethker's voice shook. "They must have found ancient tech. No one advances that fast naturally." The Supreme Chair appeared again in the holodisplay. "Stop underestimating them. Humanity's power does not come from ancient relics. It comes from their hunger to survive. They fight like dying stars. They burn brighter the closer they come to destruction." Voska hissed. "Then we should strike now before their network is complete." The chair's light dimmed slightly. "If we attack, we will start a war we cannot end. Every battle against them will teach them. Every loss will make them stronger." Still, fear overruled reason. In secret, 3 council races joined hands to form a hidden strike fleet. Their goal was simple: destroy the Horizon Gate before it could be used. 3 days later, human radar picked up unknown signals approaching New Eden. Alan Reeves received the report and frowned. "So they're finally here," he said quietly. Dr. Chen looked worried. "We're not ready for combat. The gate still needs a final test." Alan's voice was calm. "Then we test it today." Outside, the alien fleet appeared from hyperspace. Hundreds of warships surrounded the human colony. They sent one message: "Surrender your technology or face elimination." Alan watched the screen silently. Then he smiled. "Typical," he turned to his officers. "Activate the quantum core. Prepare the Horizon Gate for emergency jump." The room filled with light. The gate's energy field expanded, creating a massive ripple across space. The alien ships opened fire. Blinding beams of plasma and energy struck the human defenses. Explosions lit the sky. But as the dust cleared, something impossible happened. The human ships were gone. So was the Horizon Gate. The aliens celebrated for only a moment until sensors screamed. The human fleet reappeared behind them. They had used the gate to jump across the battlefield in an instant. The counterattack was precise and devastating. Human rail cannons pierced alien shields. Swarms of drones disabled their engines. Within minutes, the great alien fleet was in ruins. The survivors retreated into the void. Back in the control bay, Alan stood silently. The gate flickered and dimmed, its power nearly drained. Dr. Chen stared at the readings. "We won, but the energy levels are unstable. We can't use the core again without repairs." Alan nodded. "It doesn't matter. The message is sent. The Council now knows what humanity can do." In the distant Council Hall, reports flooded in. The aliens who survived spoke of human ships that moved like ghosts and weapons that tore through their fleets. The Council chamber fell silent again. The Supreme Chair spoke softly. "It has begun. The age of human expansion." But deep inside the chair's light, a secret thought echoed if humanity had already created the Horizon Gate. What would they build next? The Horizon War, as it was later called, spread fear through the galaxy. For the first time in centuries, the Galactic Council realized that peace was no longer in their control. One small species from the edge of the Orion Arm had broken the balance that thousands of civilizations had built. Humanity had arrived, and they were not leaving. In the hidden chambers of the council hall, emergency meetings ran day and night. Every species blamed another for the disaster at New Eden. The air was thick with tension and panic. High Chancellor Rethker slammed his claw against the table. They have a weapon that breaks space itself. If we do nothing, their next step will be the core systems. Admiral Voska's scales darkened. Then we must destroy their leader, Commander Reeves. Without him, their projects will fall apart. The Supreme Chair's voice glowed across the hall. Do not fool yourselves. Humanity is not a single leader. They are many. Remove one, another will rise. They share knowledge faster than we can erase it. The room fell silent. Even the most powerful empires in the council had no answer. Meanwhile, far away on New Eden, Commander Alan Reeves stood in the dark observation bay of the damaged Horizon Gate. The stars looked peaceful, hiding the scars of the recent battle. Engineers worked to repair the station, but Alan's mind was somewhere else. He had seen something during the battle, something that did not belong to humans or the council. Dr. Leela Chen entered the room with a small tablet in her hands. Alan, we've analyzed the energy readings from the quantum core, she said. There's a pattern hidden in the data. It's not random. Alan turned toward her. You mean someone left a message? She nodded slowly. Yes. And it's old. Older than the council, older than any known civilization. It's written in a code that adapts itself when we try to decode it. It feels alive. Alan frowned. Alive? Like artificial intelligence? Maybe, but it's something more. The core might not just be a power source. It could be a part of a much larger system. Alan looked back at the glowing stars. Then whoever built it might still be out there. Later that night, he opened a secure transmission to Earth Command. The screen flickered, and the face of General Hayes appeared. Commander Reeves. Report. Alan hesitated. Sir, the core isn't what we thought. It contains an ancient signal, maybe a warning. If we can decode it, we might discover who built the first quantum gates. But if the council finds out, they'll see it as a threat. Hayes narrowed his eyes. Then we make sure they don't. Proceed carefully. Humanity's future may depend on what you find. The transmission ended. Alan turned off the lights and stared at the pulsing glow of the quantum core. Each pulse seemed to whisper faintly, almost like a heartbeat far away in the deep reaches of space. The Council's intelligence ships were already moving. A spy network had located the human research site. They sent a message to the Council. The humans are searching for something older than all of us. The next day, a stealth drone appeared near New Eden's orbit. It released a small probe into the surface. The probe landed silently near the human research base. But as it scanned the ground, something unexpected happened. The signal it sent back was intercepted not by the Council, but by the core itself. Inside the lab, alarms sounded. Dr. Chen looked at the monitor. The core just absorbed an external signal. It's responding. Alan rushed to the console. The core's glow changed from blue to white, and a strange pattern appeared on the screen. It looked like a star map, showing unknown systems far beyond human space. At the center of the map was a single mark, a symbol that neither human nor alien technology had ever seen before. Dr. Chen whispered this. This isn't a warning. It's a location. Alan stared at it. A location of what? Before she could answer, the lab lights flickered. The core emitted a burst of energy so strong that it knocked out half the base's systems. When the power returned, the star map was gone. But the coordinates remained burned into the console. Alan knew what it meant. Someone or something had just invited humanity to come find them. Back in the Galactic Council Hall, the Supreme Chair received a strange transmission. A voice of pure static whispered through the coms. Only one line was clear enough to understand. They have found the signal. The chair's light dimmed to a faint glow. Then the ancient cycle begins again, it said quietly. The coordinates burned into the console were unlike anything humanity had ever seen. Alan Reeves stared at the star map, tracing the path through uncharted space. The systems were distant, isolated, and dangerous, far beyond any known human routes. Yet something inside him whispered that they had to go. "We can't wait," Alan said to his officers in the war room. "The Council will never forgive us if we ignore this. If this signal leads to technology, knowledge, or allies, we must reach it first." Dr. Leela Chen hesitated. "Commander, we barely understand the core. We don't know what's waiting there. It could be a trap." Alan shook his head. "Every great step forward carries risk. Humanity has survived worse. Prepare the fleet. We leave in 3 days." Meanwhile, deep in the Galactic Council, panic had turned into calculated fear. Reports of human victories had shaken the Council, but the revelation of the core's ancient signal brought a new terror. The Supreme Chair glowed dimly in the chamber. "They are following the path of the ancients," the chair said. "If they succeed, they will gain powers no species has ever held." "We cannot allow this," Chancellor Rethker agreed. "We will not confront them openly. A shadow fleet will intercept the humans before they reach the coordinates. Strike quickly, strike silently, and bring their fleet down." Admiral Voska's scales darkened with satisfaction. "It will be done. Humanity will learn fear today." Back on New Eden, the human fleet prepared for departure. Ships of every size gathered near the rebuilt Horizon Gate. Engineers loaded supplies. Soldiers checked weapons, and every pilot felt the weight of history on their shoulders. Alan addressed the fleet. "We do not know what lies ahead. We do not know if we will return. But we know this humanity has never backed down from the impossible. Today, we take a step into the unknown. Today, we prove why they fear us." The fleet jumped through the Horizon Gate, leaving the familiar stars of New Eden behind. When they emerged in uncharted space, the fleet encountered darkness unlike anything they had seen. Nebulas twisted unnaturally, stars burned blue and red at the same time, gravitational anomalies made navigation a challenge. "Report," Alan ordered. Sensors detected multiple ships approaching. The human fleet braced for battle, but the ships were unlike any the Council had ever deployed openly. Sleek, black vessels moved in silence, using cloaking technologies and energy weapons far beyond the humans' knowledge. The Shadow Fleet had arrived. Admiral Vaska's voice came through. Intercepted comes. "Humans, surrender the core and your fleet, or be destroyed." Alan smiled grimly. They never learn. The first strike was sudden. Lasers cut through the vacuum, striking human destroyers. The fleet scattered, using evasive maneuvers. Human railguns and plasma turrets fired in return, lighting up the darkness with bursts of blue and orange. Dr. Chen monitored the core commander. "The energy readings are rising. It's responding to the fleet's movements. It's as if the core knows how to protect us." Alan nodded. "Use it. Let's see what they fear." The core emitted a pulse of white energy that rippled across the fleet. Human ships jumped forward in an instant, reappearing behind the Shadow Fleet. Confusion spread among the Council forces. Their sensors could not track the humans. Every attempt to fire was met with evasive maneuvers that seemed impossible. Voska's voice was sharp now. "What is this? How are they moving so fast? This defies all known physics." Alan directed the fleet forward. "We follow the coordinates. Nothing stops us. Not them, not anyone." As the humans advanced deeper into uncharted space, something massive appeared on the edge of sensor range. A structure floated silently among dead stars, ancient and glowing. It was a station unlike any human or alien technology. Pulsing with energy that seemed older than the galaxy itself, Dr. Chen whispered, "This must be the source of the signal. Whatever created the core is here." Alan's eyes narrowed. "Prepare for landing. Whatever waits, humanity will face it. And when they see us, they will understand why the Council fears humanity." Far behind, the Shadow Fleet struggled to keep up. Every strategy, every weapon, every calculation failed against humans who adapted faster than any algorithm or machine. Panic spread among the council ranks. Humanity was no longer just surviving, they were rewriting the rules of the galaxy, and at the edge of uncharted space, something ancient stirred. The signal that had guided humanity for centuries pulsed brighter. The guardians of the core, whoever they were, had noticed. Alan's fleet approached the station, unaware of the eyes watching them from the shadows. The next step would change everything. The ancient station hovered silently among the stars. Massive and dark, yet glowing faintly with an inner light. Alan Reeves' fleet held position around it, scanners struggling to interpret the structure. Its walls were etched with symbols older than any human record. It was clear this was not just a station, it was a message, a monument, and a weapon. All at once. "Commander, the core readings are off the charts," Dr. Chen said, staring at the console. "It's resonating with the station. I've never seen energy like this. It's alive." Almost Alan's eyes narrowed. "Then we have to see what it wants us to find." Shuttles detached from the fleet, carrying scientists, engineers, and soldiers. They approached the docking bays, which opened automatically as if recognizing them. The humans entered the station carefully, their weapons raised. The air was silent, yet heavy with a strange electricity. Deep inside, corridors twisted impossibly, bending space in ways the human mind struggled to comprehend. Lights flickered along the walls, revealing carvings of stars, planets, and civilizations rising and falling. Every symbol told a story of knowledge, power, and warning. Dr. Chen stopped at a large chamber. "Alan, look at this. It's a map of the galaxy, but some systems are highlighted. Older than the council records? These are ancient civilizations, lost long before we existed. And there's one marked as the origin." Alan stepped closer, studying the glowing symbol. "That must be where the core came from. Whoever built it is still out there, or at least left this as a test." Suddenly, the floor beneath them vibrated. Holographic screens flickered to life, and a figure appeared. It was neither human nor alien. Its body was light and energy, constantly shifting, and its eyes burned with intelligence beyond comprehension. "I am the guardian of the core," the being said, its voice resonating in every mind at once. "Humanity has reached the threshold. Few species ever survive this trial. The Council fears you because they do not understand the path you walk. You have learned too quickly, adapted too fast, and now you face choice." Alan stepped forward. "Choice? What do you mean?" The Guardian extended its glowing appendages, projecting images across the chamber. Battles, alliances, and civilizations rose and fell in rapid succession. The core was designed to test potential, to see which species could wield power responsibly. Many failed. Your species survives not because of strength alone, but because of ingenuity, adaptability, and courage. The Council fears you because you defy expectations. Dr. Chen looked around, awestruck. "So, this is why humans are feared. We learn fast, we adapt, and we grow." The Guardian nodded. "Yes, you have the spark of creation, but also the burden of responsibility. You may leave with knowledge that can change the galaxy or with nothing. The choice is yours." Alan's mind raced. Knowledge that can change the galaxy. You mean weapons? Technology? Faster than light capabilities beyond our current systems? The Guardian's light pulsed brighter. All of this exists. But with great power comes great consequence. Misuse it, and your species may vanish before the Council even knows you existed. Use it wisely, and you may become the first to unite the galaxy in ways none have before. Alan's heart pounded. He looked at his fleet through the observation windows. Soldiers, scientists, and engineers were watching silently, waiting for his command. He knew the Council would strike at any moment. The Shadow Fleet was still out there, hiding in the void, plotting their attack. "We will take this knowledge," Alan said finally, "but we will not use it recklessly. Humanity has survived against impossible odds. We will use this to protect ourselves and to explore the stars, not to dominate others." The Guardian's light dimmed, as if approving his decision. Then you may leave, Commander Reeves. The Council will now see why your species cannot be controlled. They will fear you, yes, but perhaps one day they will also respect you. Outside, the human fleet regrouped. The Horizon Gate had been repaired and upgraded, integrating some of the ancient technology. Human ships now moved faster, adapted better, and their weapons had an efficiency no alien could match. Back in the Galactic Council Hall, reports arrived of strange energy surges and the sudden strengthening of the human fleet. Panic and confusion spread among the council races. The Supreme Chair glowed faintly and whispered, "They have passed the trial. Humanity has become something new. And now, the galaxy will feel the weight of that evolution." Alan Reeves looked at the stars through the viewport. "This is just the beginning," he said softly. "The galaxy doesn't know it yet, but humans have arrived. And no one, not even the Council, will ever forget it." The human fleet emerged from the ancient station, their ships gleaming with a new power. The Horizon Gate hummed with energy, faster and stronger than before. Humanity had not only survived, they had grown. And the galaxy would soon learn why the Council feared them. In the shadow of a distant star, the Council's secret fleet waited. Admiral Voska's voice was sharp through the coms. "This ends today, humans. Surrender the core and your fleet, or be destroyed." Alan Reeves' hand rested lightly on the command console. "They still don't understand. We do not fight out of fear. We fight to survive, to explore, to protect. That is what makes us human." The first strike came suddenly. Alien lasers sliced through the darkness, aimed to destroy. But the human fleet reacted instantly. Ships moved with precision, their engines enhanced by the core. Every attack was countered, every maneuver anticipated. The Council's fleet was powerful, but the humans were faster, smarter, and more daring. Dr. Leela Chen monitored the core energy. "Commander, it's syncing with the fleet. It's amplifying every system navigation, shields, weapons. We can't lose." Alan nodded. "Good, then. Let's show them what humanity can do." The fleet advanced, using the Horizon Gate in short bursts to appear behind enemy lines. Council ships fired blindly into empty space. One by one, alien cruisers were disabled or destroyed. Human drones infiltrated enemy vessels, shutting down engines and communications. In less than an hour, the Shadow Fleet was in chaos. In the Council Hall, panic spread. Reports streamed in of ships disappearing, entire squadrons lost without warning. High Chancellor Rethker slammed his claws on the table. "Impossible. How can they move so fast? They should be overwhelmed." The Supreme Chair glowed faintly. "They have passed the trial. They are no longer a species to be controlled or underestimated. Humanity is evolution in motion." Voska's voice, usually full of authority, trembled. "They adapt too fast. They learn from every attack, every failure. Nothing we do stops them." Back in the fleet, Alan looked at the screens showing the retreating Council ships. He felt no joy in their defeat. Instead, he felt resolve. This is not conquest. This is survival and progress. The galaxy will not fear us for what we take, it will respect us for what we build. The humans followed the coordinates further into uncharted space. There were other signals, other stations, and perhaps more guardians waiting to judge them. Every step humanity took brought new knowledge, new power, and new responsibility. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council convened in an emergency session. The Supreme Chair's light glowed brighter than ever. "We cannot fight them openly. We cannot ignore them. We must adapt, or we will be left behind. The age of human dominance has begun, and resistance is no longer the answer. Respect or extinction. That is the choice we face." Back on New Eden, Alan and his officers gathered on the observation deck. The stars stretched infinitely before them, and humanity's future waited among them. Dr. Chen broke the silence. "Commander, do you think the Council will ever understand us?" Alan smiled faintly. "They will fear us. That is natural. But they may also learn that humans do not seek to destroy, only to rise. And when that happens, The galaxy will change forever. The fleet prepared to move again, following the ancient paths, unlocking knowledge and technology long forgotten. Humanity was no longer just a small species on the edge of the Orion Arm. They were a force shaping the galaxy itself in the silence of space. The quantum core pulsed gently, as if acknowledging the human's choice. The stars shone a little brighter, reflecting the dawn of a new age. The age where humans were not merely part of the galaxy, they were its unpredictable, unstoppable heartbeat, and far across the galaxy. In the dark chambers of the council hall, the Supreme Chair whispered softly, almost to itself, "This is why we fear them, and why we must respect them. Humanity has arrived, and nothing will ever be the same." The galaxy had changed forever, and the humans of New Eden were ready to explore what no other species dared to reach.